Guys ready?
I am.
Here we go. All right, good morning, everyone. It is September 16th, Tuesday. We're going to call our meeting to order and ask Commissioner Tarswell to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you consider
Thank you very much.
silence?
Yeah. And now, if you guys don't mind, just a quick moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. He was an amazing person, great example to everybody. So. All right, thank you all. All right, let's go on to roll call, please.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Pat Tarswell.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 3, Sharon Trask.
I am here. Move on to item number 4, correspondence and organizational business. Do we have any correspondence to report?
We do. We received letter from Department of Corrections, Office of Secretary regarding MCCW gate install request. Received notice of cannabis license application from Anon Extractors LLC and HITZ2 LLC. Received letter from the City of Shelton regarding 2006.09 fund requests. Received a letter from the Port of Allen regarding Commission comments .09 applications. Received notice of liquor license application for Stether Enterprises LLC and Smoke and Mo's LLC. Received wellhead protection notice from PUD 1. Received letters from FERC regarding Board of Consultants number 2 Arch Dam Stability Investigation, Cushman number 1 Development, Cushman Project, and minimum flow and ramping rate deviations, Article 407 and 411. And that's it.
All right, great. So move on to item 4.2, the Island Lake LMD news release. And Cammie, if I could have you read that for us, that'd be great.
Yes. So this is Mason County and Island Lake Community approved new lake management district. The Island Lake community celebrated an important milestone this September as Mason County Board of Commissioners signed an ordinance creating Lake Management District number 1 for Island Lake. The decision followed months of planning and a strong show of support from local property owners. The vote results told a clear story. Of 118 eligible ballots distributed, 71 were returned. Among those, 64 supported forming the district, while only 7 opposed. With nearly 90% approval, the outcome reflected a strong consensus to safeguard the health and long-term vitality of Island Lake. For residents, the lake is more than a scenic backdrop. It is the heart of their neighborhood. Families fish along the shores, children swim in summer, and generations gather to watch sunsets. With this popularity also comes challenges. Over time, concerns have grown about water quality, invasive species, and shoreline care. The new Lake Management District, established for 15 years, gives the community a structured way to respond. Funded through annual rates collected with property taxes, the district will support projects such as weed control, fish habitat protection, and water quality monitoring. A citizen advisory committee will keep residents' voices central to decisions. By casting their votes, property owners choose to invest in something bigger than themselves, the shared environment that binds their community. Many see the district as a way to ensure the lake they love today will still be thriving for children and grandchildren tomorrow. The Board of Commissioners affirmed that choice when they adopted the ordinance on September 16th. Over the coming months, the district will move from concept to action, starting with the Citizens Committee and annual work plans. The district's success will be seen not only in reports but also in lived experiences: clearer waters, healthier fish populations, and the peace of knowing the lake is cared for. For Island Lake residents, the ordinance is more than a legal step. It's a collective promise to protect a resource that enriches their lives. With the ink now dry, the lake's future looks brighter, built on unity, responsibility, and hope.
All right, thank you.
Madam Chair, clarification, we haven't voted on that yet. We'll be voting on it today.
That is true. All right, let's move on to item number 5, open forum for citizen input. This is the time we set aside for citizens to address the commission. We ask that there's a 3-minute per person. We have a 15-minute total. Ask that when I do call on you, you go to that. Thank you. State your name, where you're from. Commissioner Netherland will be doing the timing. So, anyone in our room like to address the commission? Let's start in the back row.
Okay, so first, thank you, Commissioners, for your dedicated service and for allowing me to speak. My name is Alex Banks. I am the Outreach Coordinator and the Supervisor with the Youth Connection, where I work directly boots on the grounds with our local at-risk and homeless youth ages 12 through 24. In August, our Shelton Center served 545 young people. Our Belfair Center served about 30, with 6 being completely new to us, which is always exciting. Through intensive case management, we housed 6 young people just in August into permanent housing and prevented 2 additional households from becoming homeless. We also served 390 hot meals and handed out 48 take-home food bags, numbers that continue to rise each month. So with that stated, this year we are going to do a food drive / haunted house that we're pretty excited about in the upstairs of our building before we get ready for our remodel. Food drive is kind of something that we need pretty intensively right now. We're extremely low on food supplies, so this will help restock our pantry so we can continue to meet that high food demand. At the same time, we're continuing to move forward with our remodel, our building project, and with your support through the CHIP grant, we are one step closer to completing our 12 transitional unit housing developments. Our next step is applying for the Housing Trust Fund, which, if awarded, will fully fund our project and allow us to open more doors to young people in need for stability and safety with transitional housing. The Youth Connection remains committed to preventing and ending youth homelessness within Mason County, and with your partnership, we can continue to do so. Thank you.
What kind of stuff would you like them to bring for you?
We like pop-top type canned foods because a lot of our people are in the homeless community. They do not have access to can openers. It's better if it's things that are pre-cooked. So like SpaghettiOs, you don't have to heat those because we're talking about people who don't have access to a stove. Outside of that, we do cook our own meals. So pastas, dried box meals like the hamburger helper, and then proteins, which we do have a freezer for to store as well.
So you have a freezer for the protein.
Yes.
I found over the years, especially Turning Point, that's one of the ones they need the most. If you can afford to bring some proteins, it goes a long way. You can go to some of the local places and they'll sell you cases of chicken.
Yes. Yeah, more canned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Or do we have anyone else?
For you guys.
Thank you.
I understand I only have 3 minutes to talk, but it's probably going to take a little bit longer because if Mason County, what one of Mason County's departments hadn't goofed up so bad, it wouldn't take so long to explain it. I'm referring
Can I get your name?
I'm Bruce Zook. I live on 940 West Bacomish Valley Road out in the valley. Hunter Farms is right across from my house. The department I'm complaining about is a tree permit cutting department. On the side of Hunter Farms has a field just north of mine, and it's got 6 or 8 70, 80-foot cottonwood trees. They're right on the fence line. In fact, one of them even has the fence hooked up to it. These trees are a danger to my house. If they tipped over, they would crush my house. Last summer in May and July, they dropped some 20, 25-foot long limbs suddenly snapped off. No wind, clear blue skies, but they've been sticking out so long and the tree couldn't hold them. So these 25-foot limbs, about this big around, suddenly dropped onto my yard. And I cut them up, but I was worried about my grandchildren, because the day before, my grandsons had been playing soccer and running on the zip line I set up for them. So I worry about the safety of my grandchildren and great-grandchildren from these trees. I worry about the safety of my house from these trees. I talked to Hunter Farms, they said, yeah, we'll do it. We'll take them down. They are a problem. They didn't want to, but they have a skidder on their farm that's bigger than most logging company has, so it can handle these trees. So he did the lawful thing, went in and spoke to your tree cutting department. And the tree cutting department supposedly, even though I never saw anybody, came out and looked at them and determined that only 2 of the 8 trees could be cut down. All 8 of them threatened my house and my family. So I went in a week or 2 later and spoke in person to the man that wrote the report. I don't have the papers in front of me. And he told me that they would send out another forester to look at the problem. I'm there 24 hours a day, my daughter's there 24 hours a day. And when I left the meeting, I assumed someone would come out and go over and look at the trees. As I left the room, he says, by law, we have 10 days to give you an answer on this problem that you're complaining about. I said, good, thank you. That was 3 months ago. I never got an answer. Nobody came on my property. Nobody called me. Nobody sent me a letter. It's still dangerous trees, only 2 are permitted. I find it appalling that the guy didn't get back to me. I mean, my grandchildren's lives and the safety of my home are at stake, but I never heard anything back, and supposedly those 10 days are now 3 months behind it. So I'm here to tell you guys that from now on, unless you guys can somehow get, what I want is another forester to come out there like he promised, but I'd like him to talk to me eyeball to eyeball, actually come on my property. You cannot see the problem with these trees because you can't get near them. There's 200 feet of blackberries surrounding them on the 100 tree side. So in order to see the problem I complained about, he had to come out there and be on my property to be able to go, look, see. The problem with these trees is that they're on the side of a slough. Within a foot of the north side of the tree, it drops down 8 feet to some water that's there 365 days of the year. The northern half of 5 of the trees have no roots. Only the southern half of the tree have roots. The northern half drops down 8 feet to the water and there's no roots. When the wind blows, those puppies are going to tip over someday. And they're insecure. They need to be taken out because when they do go, my house will go. My 60-year-old black walnut tree will be crushed by the trees. So I would like you guys to send another man out there, and this time have him speak to me in person. Have him actually come onto my property so I can show him, look, there's a 6-foot drop-off with no roots here, and these 5 trees are trying to stand up in high winds, and they're 70 feet high.
So first, can I ask you to stay after the meeting? And
yes.
Because we would love to speak with you after the meeting.
Yeah, I'd like to.
See if we can get
I
this
just like to, I mean, I'd be happy if one of you guys would drive out this afternoon and I can go, look, here's the problem. There's no roots holding those 5 trees up, and when the wind blows strong someday, and it does all the time, they're gonna come over and either crush my house, or in the middle of summer, the 2 days that it dropped the 20-foot limbs, there was no wind, it was clear blue skies. The tree couldn't keep its arms out anymore and they just snapped off.
If you'll stay around afterwards and leave your phone number for us so we can try and handle this for you.
Okay, I'll try and remember my phone number.
That's okay.
I got a Hawaii number from my
But
girlfriend.
also, you can always get our phone numbers. We have cards up front. You can call us direct. You don't have to show. You can just call us. We're about as accessible as you get. Just give us a phone call and say, hey, Randy or Commissioner, we need.
So you guys are available by phone most of the time?
Absolutely.
Always.
Yep.
Good, I did not know you were here all day long. I thought you were.
Well, no, we carry a phone with us. You just call us. We'll make things happen.
Okay, thank you very much. The pictures show the trees I'm worried about.
That's actually your commissioners right there.
Give me a call.
So,
Thank you very much, I appreciate it. And you can keep them photos.
All right, thanks,
Thank
Bruce.
You're welcome.
All right, do we have anyone else in the room that would like to address the commission? Do we have anyone in the Zoom room? Anyone in the Zoom room? All righty. I might call on you. 10 years. let's move on to item number 6, adoption of the agenda. Anyone?
Madam Chair, I move that we adopt the agenda.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 7, approval of minutes.
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of the September 2nd, 2025 regular meeting minutes and the September 8th, 2025 briefing minutes as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the September 2nd, 2025 regular minutes and September 8th, 2025 briefing minutes. I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right. Moving on to item number 8, approval of our action agenda. Commissioners will read through the action agenda. Items can be removed for separate discussion or vote. And I forgot to say who's doing what. Commissioner Netherland, if you could do items 8.1 through 8.3. Commissioner Tarswell, 8.4 through 8.8. And then I'll take the rest.
Okay, on behalf of you, Madam Chair, item number 8.1 reads approval of warrants and treasurer's electronic remittance. Claims, clearing fund, warrants number 8115216 through, can't be right, but it says 5118381, but I'm pretty sure I'll put in the record as 8118381. The amount, $915,166.87. Direct deposit fund, warrants number 1193662 through 119770. The amount, $949,666.36. Direct deposit fund, warrants number, that's what I just read, so salary clearing fund, warrants number 7009135 through 7009173. The amount, $1,232,952.46. Treasurer's electronic remittance was $316,155.35. Item number 8.2, approval of the application for funding for the Economic Development Council, EDC, for $150,000 and Port of Great View for $25,000 for the .09 Rural County Sales and Use Tax Fund. Item number 8.3, approval of an interagency agreement between Washington State Department of Agriculture and Mason County and its agent, Mason County Noxious Weed Control Board, contract number K6082, for a total award of $25,000 for knotweed control.
Item 8.4, approval to issue water leak credits for customer number 308072 in the amount of $851.50 and customer number 306041 in the amount of $1,169.50 plus applicable late fees based on verification that the leaks have been repaired. 8.5, approval to authorize Public Works to use Small Works roster to solicit an invitation to vendors for the Beards Cove Pumps number 5 replacement project and enter into a contract with the lowest responsible bidder. Item 8.6, approval to authorize Public Works to execute change order number 1 with First Onsite in the amount of $52,641.16 for the Belfair Water Reclamation Facility Restoration Project. Item 8.7, approval to authorize an amendment to Resolution 2024-029 to establish development review and Belfair traffic mitigation fees within the Public Works fee schedule. Item 8.8, approval of private land occupancy permit granting permission to run the utility lines under and across North Shore Road for address 9241 Northeast North Shore Road, parcel number 22218-34-00060.
Item 8.9, approval for the fire tech proposal for $8,571 plus tax for the 20-year inspection of the Juvenile Detention Center fire sprinkler system. Item 8.10, approval of an ordinance to create Lake Management District Number 1 for Island Lake. Item 8.11, approval to set a public hearing for Tuesday, October 14th, 2025 at 9:15 a.m. to consider surplus of real property at 141 Hemlock, Elma, Washington, tax number 61930-51-00075. Having read through the action agenda, are there any items you would like to have removed for separate discussion?
Are you gonna wanna speak?
Yeah, I can speak if you want.
I thought I want you to, but.
I would like to, yeah.
Okay, Madam Chair, I'd like to take off item number 8.10.
Anything, Commissioner?
No.
All right, anyone in the audience like anything removed for separate discussion or vote? No? Anyone in the Zoom room like anything removed for separate discussion or vote? Okay. Commissioners?
Madam Chair, I move for approval of the action agenda, item number 8.1 through 8.11 with the removal of item number 8.10 for further discussion. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the action agenda items 8.1 through 8.11 with the removal of item 8.10 for separate discussion and vote. Any discussion? No? Like I've said before, we run through these really quick, and if you have any questions, please get a hold of us or watch our briefings. They're pretty darn exciting.
I don't know about that, but we do get a lot more in depth on the issue.
I think they're exciting.
It's the snoring, I hear it in the audience.
Wow, it's not mine.
No, it's him.
Kelly. All right. I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, let's go to item 8.10 and let me run through it real quick. So we had the news release read earlier. That's a great description of what happened and why. So now I will ask if there's anyone in the audience that would like to say anything.
Yeah.
Randy, please state your name and where you're from.
I'll be quick. My name is Randy Lewis. I live in the Island Lake neighborhood. I'm a proud graduate of Mountain View Grade School. I'm also the current chair of the Island Lake LMD Advisory Committee. From our point of view, it's been very much a team effort. In particular, Jeff Conklin, who is our chief marketing officer. As Pat mentioned, it was overwhelmingly approved with not quite 90% of the vote, and 60% of the lake voted. Also grateful for staff support. In particular, Jennifer Biley and I started this journey several months ago. And her and Tim Whitehead, Whitehouse, psyched out what you can do, what you can't do, how you do it, that sort of thing. I think that'll be beneficial for future LMDs in the county, that a lot of this stuff doesn't have to be reinvented from scratch. So, by the way, hi Jennifer. So now, that's the first part of our journey. Now we can start our own feasibility studies. We've already begun some work. Our committee are now members of WALPA, which is the Washington Association, or the Washington Lake Protective Association. And we're developing relationships with other LMDs in the state, and in particular in Thurston County. There's a fellow over there, Barry Halverson, who's very involved with WALPA. He's also the Lake Lawrence chair. He's also chair of the Thurston County L&D Association. And we would like to reach out to other current and potential LMDs in Mason County, at least have some sort of informal group. I think we can help each other out. In October, WAPA has a conference every year. This year it's over in Moses Lake, and I'm going, and Mike Jones, our Chief Science Officer, is going with us. And that'll be a chance to network and get to know other people and learn a lot. They have a lot of very interesting stuff on there. Our Chief Science Officer, Mike Jones, will be there, and he'll be able to psych out a lot of that stuff. I thought he was going to be here today, but maybe he's out counting frogs somewhere or something, I don't know. So our mission now basically is we want a healthy lake. And we're going to reach out to maybe some county entities, mainly to address bad behavior with respect to things that are damaging the health of the lake. In particular, unclean boats coming in and leaving nasty stuff in the lake. And as a fellow mentioned in the prior meeting, some people are coming in and dumping really nasty things in there. So we would like to somehow mitigate that and maybe get some help or suggestions from county entities for that part of our project. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thanks, Randy.
Randy, I have one question for you. I have some people out at Lost Lake that are interested in the LMD. Is it okay if I give them your contact information?
Sure. Okay. And my understanding is Jennifer is no longer the county contact. It's my understanding Chris Pinkerton is, so yeah, he should be involved with everything as well. So I think Jennifer just got tired of me darkening her door every once in a while. So.
All right. Anything?
Make a motion. Madam Chair, I move for approval of ordinance to create Lake Management District Number 1 for Island Lake.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the ordinance to create Lake Management District Number 1 for Island Lake. Comments?
I just want to say they gave a great example of how to do this. They did such heavy participation in their community. The education process went through. When they came in to speak to us, they brought in some heavy hitters, people that we all definitely knew and respected, and they were leaders in their field. For anybody else that wants to do it, I suggest that they do exactly what the commissioner is doing, is get in touch with them because they did it right. It's always good to see when, even though it might be more restrictive and stuff like that, when the people need it and they ask for it and they want to do it, they always should have the right to be able to put together what they want to burden themselves if that's what they choose. But I just want to say it was done so very well, so thank you guys for how you handled it.
Thank you.
Get rid of the snails. That's one of the big problems they have out at Island Lake is about 1 billion snails in the water, and it's really nasty. So that's
All right.
That's a big problem.
It is, yeah. All right. I'm going to call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. You got it, Randy. Now it's all yours.
Thank you.
Go forth, have fun.
So any complaints, call Randy, not this one, that one.
All right, let's move on to item number 9. This is an opportunity for department heads and elected officials to address the commission if they would wish. Steve?
Morning, Madam Chair.
Treat.
Commissioner Netherland, Commissioner Tarswell. Hey, I got 2 things. Steve Dunkel, Mason County Auditor. First of all, wanted to give you an update on the amicus brief that I was airing and sharing with you a couple weeks ago. And with concurrence from our prosecutor and chief deputy prosecutor, as auditor, I signed on to the amicus brief, or an amicus brief to the Washington State Supreme Court. And the background is that as county auditor, I've got statutory responsibility to maintain our voter registration database and keep it clean. Voter rolls are the backbone of our election system, and integrity of the database is key to voter confidence. Last year, Secretary of State Steve Hobbs entered a consent decree in response to a lawsuit filed by the Washington State Alliance for Retired Americans, agreeing that the 30-day residency requirement in Article 6 of our state constitution was unlawful for existing Washington residents. I'm neither taking a position for or against the consent decree, but merely pointing out that this decree makes it ambiguous for how auditors should verify addresses of voters who register to vote and vote on election day. And with Kittitas County Auditor Brian Elliott, I am asking for the Supreme Court for clarification and guidance on when and how to conduct voter roll maintenance, given the decree in context with all of the other existing federal and state laws affecting voter roll maintenance. So we'll see how the state Supreme Court responds, and I will keep you posted. Second thing is I wanted to share with you that I brought a member of the licensing team and our Chief Deputy Marie up for a visit to Snohomish County, Garth Fell's auditor's office, to learn about his operation and how they handle pet licensing in Snohomish County. And so we learned a lot. And as I've shared with you before, the auditor's office can offer voluntary pet licensing and fulfill the sheriff's responsibility for licensing dangerous animals with no increase in staff. So I look forward to sharing more insights with you and working with you to explore this concept and see what we can pull together. So that's all I've got. Thank you.
Mr. Auditor, would you mind sharing the, whatever rules and laws they're using up there, to what that looks like, if you wouldn't mind gathering them and sharing that with us so we would even know, because I haven't read it.
I'd be happy to. Yep, there's a
Don't even know what it is, so.
ordinance that we took a close look at, and also we took a close look at the Shelton City ordinance for pet licensing. So I will share both of those with you. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks. Any other department heads in the room? How about in the Zoom room? Good, because I would rather than be in the room. I didn't want to comment. All right, let's move on to, you are released. Let's see. All right, let's move on to our public hearings. And we have item 10.1, public hearing to consider adopting the resolution approving the 2026 annual construction program, and ask staff to come forward.
All you hear is this whoosh, people going out the door.
Good morning, Commissioners, and
Morning.
thank you.
Good morning.
I'm David Smith from the Department of Public Works. And before you this morning is we're requesting the board consider approving the annual construction program for 2026. And the annual construction program is what we sometimes refer to as the annual element. It's the first year of the 6-year transportation improvement program, and this is what we plan on doing in 2026 in terms of our construction. And I'm sure that the board has had a chance to review this, and I'm basically here to answer any questions that you may have toward it.
Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Anyone in the audience have questions? Oh, we're making this far too easy for you. Anyone in the Zoom room have questions? All right,
Okay?
thank you. All right, now do we have anyone in the room that would like to testify? No, anyone in the Zoom room like to testify? Nope. All right, commissioners, discussion?
Madam Chair, I move for approval or the adoption of a resolution approving the 2026 annual construction program as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution approving the 2026 annual construction program. And if anyone is curious as to what we are voting on, we do have the Bear Creek to Water Road Improvement Project, programmatic bridge repairs, and countywide small capital projects. All right, Commissioner, discussion?
Has anybody told you how awesome you are lately? Because you are.
You have, thank you,
I
Commissioner.
appreciate you, everything you've been doing.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Yeah.
Madam Chair, I think we missed one.
Good.
Will, you are slow.
Yes, I am, ma'am.
Would you like to address us?
I would very much. So, let's see if I can. All right, now you have a face. So, thank you very much, Commissioners, for the opportunity. My apologies for being slow at the mark there with raising my hand. TIPCAP has reviewed and does support the annual and the 6-year TIP as presented by staff. Just a couple of comments. One is, as it was originally presented, we talked about some of the very hard fiscal challenges facing us, not only within funds that come into transportation, but the difficult challenges that the three of you have to deal with as you look at the total breadth of everything going across the county. Loretta challenged us to, if you had to take, say, a $500,000 cut, what would you do? And TIPCAP went through that, and our focus was very much on those projects that were solely funded by county funds. Projects that had matching federal or state funds, we really excluded from the, if you will, potential removal list to ensure that we captured as much money as possible. Because if we're getting $2 from the state for every dollar that we're having, we don't want to lose those $2. And all three of you are well aware of that. So we have gone through that. We feel very good. I would just, moving forward, I really think guidance from the board is going to be needed. There are some very difficult fiscal challenges that are coming towards us, and as we balance, further guidance from the three of you in the future would be helpful. I have every confidence in Public Works and their team. I think they're doing very well. You see some outstanding successes. Look at the chip seal program, the conversion program. Look at the striping program. What an absolutely fantastic opportunity. We control what we stripe. We're saving money. We're doing good stuff for the county. And but your guidance in the future would be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Will, and thank you for being a member of the TIPCAP committee. It's not an easy committee to be on, but I think you all are doing a great job.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right.
Would you like a second, another motion, or are you good with the one we already made?
I'm good with the one that
Okay.
you already did. Yeah, so now I will call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, now we're on to item 10.2, which is adopting the resolution approving the 6-year transportation improvement program for 26 through 2031.
Again, thank you, Commissioners. David Smith, Department of Public Works. So before you is the request for an adoption of the 2026, 2031 6-year transportation improvement program. And I'd like to maybe briefly go over some of the funding things, because that's one of the most important parts of the improvement program. So we have money that comes through the STP, and that is federal money, and a lot of our projects are funded through STP. And we have HSIP, which is Highway Safety Improvement Program, which deals with safety. And we have grants as well from that fund. We have the road fund, obviously, which is the fund that we manage here. And then we have the RAP funding, which is through the County Road Improvement Board. And then we have the BROS, which is the bridge replacement for because bridges become very expensive, it's very difficult to do that with local money. And then we have our new roads, which again would be the road fund. So, and if you noticed in the annual element, there's several conversions where we're going from gravel to pavement or chip seal. So that's basically our sources of funding. And again, if you have any questions about the tip, I try to answer those at this time.
Any questions? I have one. How many roads, how many miles of roads do we have in Mason County, county roads?
What, Dave? 620 something.
Yeah, I know that one, Dave.
It changes every year,
It's
because we add.
because we
subtract
adopt
roads.
more, yeah.
Yeah, so, but I knew it was around 620, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Loretta.
No.
Bailing me out.
You've got a lot of other numbers up there rolling
Right.
around.
Right, I just think it's important that people understand how many miles of road we have that our public works folks take care of. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
And then just spread by some crazy geography, right?
Right.
We've got a lot of distance to travel and time-wise to cover that ground, so.
Yeah, and the project list is impressive. So you,
No,
You've got your way-
The team's done a really, really good job on delivering, so it's one thing to have a list,
Mhm.
it's another to check off the list and keep moving on through the projects, and super proud of all of the team's efforts in doing that.
right.
And we can't really do it without support of management, so thank everybody for that too.
All right, anybody have questions for staff?
Has anybody told you how awesome you are lately?
It's twice,
Yeah, not lately.
twice in one day, wow.
Thank you.
It's been days.
All right. Anyone in the Zoom room have questions? All right. Motion or deliberation?
Madam Chair, I move that we adopt or pass public hearing, the resolution adopting the 6-year transportation improvement program, TIP for 2026 through 2031.
I will second.
All right, we do have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution approving the 6-year transportation improvement program for 2026 through 2031. Any discussion? All right, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Good job.
Thank
Yeah, and thank the committee for us. They really do a good job.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Well, we have nothing else except for boards, calendars, and reports. Commissioner Tarswell, Commissioner Netherland, and then I'll follow.
All right. Try to get this up. Oh, let's see. I have an MTA board meeting that we will all be attending. Well, I don't know if you're gonna be able to make it, right? Okay. We'll all be attending at 1 o'clock.
I'll call it.
Then I get to go do more blood work at 3, so I'll be leaving a little early today. We have a MACECOM meeting to discuss the level of service. There was quite a bit of shock when MACECOM presented their budget at the MACECOM meeting, and everybody sucked the air out of the room when they all went, so we're going to be discussing what's the level of service going to be within the budget that they're going to be constrained to. So that should be an interesting meeting. We'll be there 10:30, then I have 3 more meetings after that. Oh, and then we have Fire District 12 tonight. No, excuse me, tomorrow night. I've jumped a day. Gotta go back. Oh, let's see.
Like a time traveler.
Yeah. I will be out on Thursday. I am going on a sailing trip with Chris Kay. Help move his boat from one marina down to another. Then on Friday, we have Thurston Mason Behavioral Health. We'll be hosting that meeting right in here, so. For the first time, we don't have to drive all the way to Thurston for that. That's kind of nice. Next week, we have a briefing on Monday. We have a TOPE workshop at 10 o'clock next Monday. Then Board of Health on Tuesday. It kind of starts all over again. Anyway, that should cover it.
Okay, yeah, I had a few things this last week. Government Affairs meeting was very good when it came to discussing some of the things with the sewer and stuff. I attended a debate that they had here. I'd say Shelton has some pretty darn good candidates. I'd say it was one of the better ones that I had attended, to where I felt like there was a lot of knowledge in that room, and that's kind of interesting, because I've also been at ones in the past that it was not. So I love when the future looks bright. That was a term that another commissioner used to use when she got elected, that the future may say looks bright, but I can see it with what I attended. TOPE meeting, Board of Health. Girl Scouts are having a special meeting that I've been invited to. The Boy Scouts, they have the Eagle Scout. Well, with the Girl Scouts, they have their silver and gold, and I've been invited to that, and I very much look forward to it. I can tell you, when a Girl Scout has gone through all the processes to get there, they have done as much as a Boy Scout would to become an Eagle. You got to give them the credit for it. It's a lot of hard work and commitment. This stuff doesn't come easy. And I'm very honored to be doing that. I'm going to try and take a few days with my family, but I'll still be attending meetings, most likely via Zoom. I know I've got issues. I'm working on it, though.
Well, we all have issues, but we don't broadcast them.
Yeah. What was the guy from Night Court that I did have, but I'm feeling much better now.
All right, thank you, commissioners. So we do have our Mason Transit meeting this afternoon. I'll be on the road driving to Ellensburg to be prepared for a Timber Caucus meeting in the morning. And then, let's see, and then on Thursday, it's the WASAC, Washington State Association of Counties. I'm on their board of directors, so I'm at that meeting. LSC meeting in the afternoon. They're having a little social afterwards, and then head home on Friday. Next week is our briefings, Wasatch Virtual Assembly, Board of Health, SWAC meeting, Turning Point Board meeting, Public Works Board Executive Committee meeting, and then on Thursday the 25th is my grandson, one grandson's birthday. I've got 3, but they're so cute. And then Public Works Board Broadband Committee meeting. And I'm probably going to go to the lip sync with Great Bend. I will not be up there lip syncing, but it'll be fun to watch everybody else do that. And then we're back here on Monday for our briefings. And I'm thinking I can confirm with Jen, but I think that is overview of our budget with PLRs. So, if not, Jen can tell me that no, we're not doing that one. And then, so anyway, that'll be fun. Anything else, commissioners? No? All right, motion.
I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, we are adjourned. Have a nice week, everybody.